Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Creative Tavern. My name is Christopher Lee. I am a concept artist. I've been in the industry for about 10 years in companies such as Walt Disney Imagineering, as well as uh, Wal- uh, uh, the creative, no, Universal Studios Creative. And I'm here today with my buddy and friend and coworker, Michael Elker. Hello, Michael.
Hello! My name is Michael Welker. I'm a software developer, writer, and semi retired creative producer, also from the theme park industry, which is where I got to work on some big projects with Chris. But recently, we found ourselves kind of in between big projects, especially with all the pandemic stuff that was happening. And we said, hey, let's do something together. Like, put our heads together and do a personal creative project, me and you. Took us a while to figure out what that was going to be, and we eventually settled on learning how to make a video game, something both of us were interested in, but neither of us had ever done before. And so we started working on that, and along the way, we also decided, hey, we should give other people a window into our creative process and maybe work on creating a space where other like minded creative people can come together, watch us make creative stuff, can share the creative stuff that they're doing. And that's how the Creative Tavern came to be. And to tell you more about that, I'm going to hand it back to Chris.
Yeah, thank you so much, Michael. And so the Creative Tavern was created for creative people just like you, just like me, just like Michael. So if you have any creative things you want to share with us, with your friends, with the world, we have a Discord. Share with us so that we can all go on the same journey together. Because design is a hard journey. One thing that I'm definitely learning is that making video games is freaking hard. Now that I'm trying to do it. I have more appreciate. I appreciated what video game people are doing. I know that it's hard, but actually trying to make gives me a lot more respect. So, doing this, broadens my horizon, obviously, and also we have people here to again, like Michael said, have the people watch us go on this journey, and just to. Because I said that, I want to give a special shout out to Captain Blue Blue, our new viewer, Mestra Virus, as well as Coley in here. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. And again, we are here for you, and you guys are here for us too. And this is a platform for you guys. So whenever you guys want to share, feel free to join our Discord and then post your art. It doesn't have to be artwork. It could be storytelling. It could be 3D printing. It could be songwriting, voice acting, whatever it is. Share it on the Discord, and then we'll be amazed at what your talent is. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Because today is Wednesday. Wednesday is Michael's day. To share all the stuff that he's been doing for the past week, as well as we have trivia tonight. But I'm gonna say we are on a really, really tight schedule. Our game is actually due the end of September. It was supposed to be like, mid-September, but with the schedule that we have right now, there's still a lot of stuff to do. So we're gonna try to not power through this, but we're gonna try to get as much done crammed in. So trivia might be cut a little bit shorter tonight, or if we want run too long, we may postpone it. I don't know. It's up to Michael if we how we feel. So it's more or less kind of loosey goosey, or not loosey goosey, but we'll just play by ear, right? But yes, thank you again, everyone, for being here and just to be here to support us. And thank you so much, you guys. All right, cool. Michael, I am ready to check out what you're doing. I haven't seen what Michael was doing yet, so this is all new to me as well.
Yeah, so I have an update this week. I'm going to start with the bad news, though. My plan coming out of last week was that I was going to have scene one done and scene two done. Um, then, about halfway through the week, I was like, I'll have scene one done, but probably only about half of scene two. And now here we are for my update. I don't have anything to show for scene two. I couldn't get to it. I only have scene, but I do have scene one completed,
Nice.
which is good. That said, it's pretty janky. You're going to see some things that are going to misbehave. I'm well aware of them. I don't have time to fix them right now. They'll get fixed later.
Hmm.
Um, so there's that. I to kind of like tag a little bit onto what you were saying before, Chris, and I'm gonna avoid that. Like normally, what I do for my updates, I'll kind of walk you guys through. Here's what I add, and here's how that came to be, and here's how I thought about it, and add a lot of this sort of like creative development stuff that I think is useful and educational. But this week, because I've got a lot to share, and Chris has got some things to share, and the time crunch and all that stuff, I'm not really going to get into that. I might talk a little bit about that. The only thing that I'm going to say is that this was the hardest week for me. Like, I put the most amount of effort, blood, sweat, and tears into the game this week than any other week, and
Mm.
still came up short. Still couldn't get, scene 1 and 2 done. I'm hoping that I can pick up the pace a little bit, and by next week I can have scene 2 and 3 done. We'll see.
Mm.
But yeah, it's tough. I'm very aware of our deadline and pushing really hard to make that goal, and we will make it. Um, we may have to cut some things along the way, but we will make that deadline.
Mm.
Uh, but boy, howdy, it's tough. Still, I wouldn't change it. Having the deadline is a really helpful way to be expeditious about, well, we're out of time. Like with the scene 1 stuff, like you're going to see some of the jank. Doesn't matter. I'm out of time. Scene
Mm.
1's done. Moving on.
Mm.
So, yeah. Anyway, with that disclaimer out of the way, let's see what I did this week. Oh, and I'm not going to do a recap of last week. You're going to see everything that I did last week in here anyway. And normally, what I would do is kind of tell you what has changed, but let's play a little game. I'm going to play the game, and you guys can just, Chris, you can shout out or chat, you can type in, and then Chris can yell it in my ear what you've noticed that has changed. And then after a single playthrough, then we'll walk through and I'll explain, yep, you got all the things, or here's a couple of other things that are a little bit subtler that maybe you've missed.
Yeah.
No pressure. This is just a different way of doing an update this week.
Right.
So
Right.
here's scene 1 in its full, rough first draft completeness.
Yeah.
What I will do though is I'll read the all right, folks, we're in the asteroid belt now. The little like captain dialogue box is for you guys. Shoot to clear a path. Anything yet? To be fair, the changes at this point are really subtle.
Captain Blue says, "I demand the Southern Belle."
Oh yeah, sorry. Alpha Team was sent in to respond to the distress signal coming from the colony. The good news is the distress signal stopped. The bad news is we lost contact with Alpha Team.
Oh
Our
no.
mission, make contact with Alpha Team and check on the colony. Stay alert. Over and out.
Roger, Roger.
It's so hard to do female voices. I can't get my voice to go that high. Looks, oh, by the way, there's a bug with the dialogue. Sometimes it goes really fast.
Oh, got
Damn,
it.
that's an Alpha Team ship. I thought I fixed it, but apparently it's still busted. We've got movement ahead, just in that field, just up ahead.
Oh, wow. You got a little outline on the guy. Oh,
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Oh, wow. Oh, you got points. You got points going on.
Uh-huh. Look out, there's a whole swarm of those things.
Oh my word. Oh, damn. Man, we got to get music in this. This is going to be so epic when it actually has
Yeah. And
music
sound
and
effects.
the sound effects. Yeah. Do 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 do.
It's subtle, but notice anything about when I shoot the drones?
Uh,
Well, you'll see in a second here, because there's
all
not going to
right.
be any for this sequence, but I can't reach command. Take out any jammers you find.
I can't shake him. I can't shake him. Oh, wow. Nice. Dude, this environment looks great, man.
I'm stoked to hear you say that, because we'll get into it, but that was
Oh, look
a
at this
challenge for me.
environment. I like it. I like it a lot.
Check your SAIX.
Oh no. Oh wow, you're doing a backward flying backwards.
Yeah.
Nice. Pew, 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 pew. Captain Blue says, "Yankee droids up ahead." Virus is like,
Oh no.
Virus says, LMAO. Captain Blue says, looks really cool.
Thanks, man. Oh, can I get this one before? Yeah, there we go. Whew.
Defend the fleet. Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
thanks, Chris.
Sorry. Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
no, no,
Sorry.
no,
Sorry.
no.
Sorry. Sorry.
Please go right ahead, because
Oh.
I'm distracted.
Oh, jeez. Did when you shot it, did it do like a little cartwheel or something? Oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there you go. It like spun around. Interesting. Captain Blue says the droids looks a little hard to see, but the outlines help a lot, and I freaking agree. I think that's great. I think that's great.
Yeah, yep, you guys nailed it. That's the reason why I did that, because I was like, man, these things are hard to see.
Yeah. Man, the eye looks really good.
Yeah, I totally agree. Look, there's a couple of drones way out there in the distance. You can see them
Whoa.
glowing through the ship,
Oh, interesting.
and they're still shooting at me.
Oh, jeez. Oh, wow. We're sidestepping. What the fuck is it called? Strafing?
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool. I like that a lot. That is cool. Is instead of just going forward, we're strafing as well. That's nice. Dude, good job with the level, man. This is
ooh,
great.
thanks. Uh, it flashed by way too fast right there, but she basically said, "That did it. We're all clear. Let's go save that
Nice.
colony,"
Oh.
or "Let's go save that colony."
All right.
And there you go. That's the end of
Oh,
the level.
yay. Nice. Good job. Oh, man. That
Yeah,
that was that
thank
was
you.
awesome. That was awesome. What a treat. That was
Uh,
great.
yeah, I'm glad to hear you say that, because man, this was hard to get out. Um,
What
so
made
I'll
it
kind of
hard?
walk.
Oh,
Oh, what's
sorry,
that?
go ahead. Oh, I was gonna ask what made it so hard? What was the
Sure.
challenge? Yeah.
A couple of things, and like I said earlier, I'm going to try to keep it brief because I don't want to spend too long on this. But um, I'll kind of walk you through the updates that I made, and then a couple of the things that made it really difficult. So
Uh-huh,
what you
uh-huh.
may not notice here is I got rid of the health bars for the asteroids, just because I found that like it was really Whoa, it was really distracting when oh, actually, I need to restart this because for some reason my controls died.
While you do
It was really
while
distracting.
Oh,
So go ahead.
go ahead. No. You go.
I was just going to say that it was really distracting to shoot an asteroid but not kill it and then have the health bar kind of hanging out there
Sure.
as sort of like this unfinished thing. And
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
because you're going to be shooting so much into the environment anyway, it just seemed like that was the right decision and to leave the health bars for like the drones and things. The other thing I
Yeah.
did is for the smaller
Oh God.
asteroids, if I can shoot them, you can see that they still blow up, but they blow up instantly. They have less health, and they don't create that like nice big explosion.
Uh-huh.
They just do like this little puff.
Uh-huh.
Like you can see that, like that little guy that I got right there, as opposed to this big one. Boom, he's got like
Boosh.
a bigger, beefier thing.
Yeah.
Um, because it was way too much when like everything was creating that big, like smoky explosion. So I got rid of that. All right, a couple of the other things that are going on in here. I've got the score happening up in the top right. So like as I'm killing things, there's a little point thing that appears like where they got killed, but
Mm-hmm.
it's also ticking up over here. So like when I
Mm-hmm.
kill
Mm-hmm.
this guy, you'll see that jumps up to 100 because I got 100 points for killing him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, so every time I shoot one of these drones, they react to the hit now. So they
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Mm-hmm.
like wobble a little bit. Their like
Yeah.
rotation is adjusted.
Yeah.
Um, it's not very like nuanced right now, but it's enough to like make it feel like, ooh, yeah, I'm hitting these things.
Yeah, there's feedback.
Um, yeah, exactly. It's part of that game feel.
Yeah.
And yeah, like as you guys noticed with the outline, which by the way, for the outline, I full disclosure, I can't take credit for having created that. That was just something that I found in the Unity store that I was like, ooh, hey, somebody else already did this. And then great, I'm just going to use that because it can take too long for me to
Sure.
program the damn thing.
Yeah.
Um, I've got a time target section here, but it's a little bit broken. It's not really like connected to anything right now, but it's just a reminder of like this is the part where I want and some of the dialogue right there is not appearing for some reason. Where she's supposed to basically be telling you like, hey, we're trying to call for backup. There's too many of these things, but they're jamming us. So take out the comms jammers. And then that's what that part is. You actually shoot those things, and then she would say like, all right, we're all clear. We're calling in for backup. And
Yeah.
now the colony is saying like, hey, we're under attack. Get in here now. And then
Hey,
right
my
here, yeah, go ahead.
sorry. The quick question. The timed graphics, the circles that is moving, is that 3D
Mhm.
object or is that a flat graphic?
It's a 3D object.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Um,
Understood. All
yeah,
right. Continue.
sure.
What you were
So
saying?
right now we're kind of like soaring through this area, at just kind of like at an accelerated speed. But just before that, when I was flying backwards, that's actually a brand new drone behavior that I didn't have before, which was the pursuer drone, where they're kind of
Uh-huh.
like, actually,
Oh,
I think
jeez.
I can show you if I just load in all of this stuff and go to, I think it's Rails.
Uh, Coleybutt says, I gotta head to sleep, so I'll be lurking. Been so consumed with work and video games. I'm tired, y'all. Have a great night. Thank you so much, Coleybutt. Please
Night,
take
Corey.
care and get all the rest that you need, man. Thank you again for being
Yeah.
here. Thank you, thank you.
Thanks for being here. So yeah, you can
Was
actually see these guys, zooming
mhm.
in from the distance back there. They're kind of
Yeah,
popping
that's
into
cool.
space, but
Yeah,
um, that's new behavior. They couldn't do that before.
yeah.
But I wanted to do something a little bit different in this section where we could actually, because one of the other things I was trying to do with the design in this first level is like a gentle exposure to some of the thing, to like a lot of the things, maybe not everything, but a lot of the things that you could be doing in the game. So like sometimes you're gonna be going backwards, sometimes you're gonna be going forwards, sideways.
Right, right,
Um, there's going to be a timed target thing. Like this is how that works. Sort of like a gentle introduction, and then we can do more challenging versions later.
right.
Um, so there's that. That. That's kind of the big stuff for like the most like visually distinct things, I guess, is everything I've already kind of discussed. And then I kind of wanted to wrap up the level where the fleet is under attack, so you're kind of here defending them. And I would like this to look cooler with like, your friendly fighter ships flying around and fighting other drones. I think that
Mm-hmm,
will be really cool, but I just didn't have time to do that.
mm-hmm,
So maybe we'll get to that later.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, so building this thing was really freaking hard, and there were a couple of things that I did that ended up like crashing Unity for the first time.
Oh,
Like
wow.
Unity, yeah, on this project, aside from the debacle when I upgraded to like the latest version of Unity,
Right.
and then that just like wasn't working, I actually got this build to crash multiple times from a
Oh,
thing that
geez.
I built. Yeah, which was weird. Like, and what was frustrating about it is at least one of those times I lost like over an hour of work.
Oh, fuck.
Um, and then it happened again, and I lost work again. So that was really frustrating.
Yeah,
And I'll
yeah.
show you what that thing is. This will be like maybe the one thing that I break away to show, because I teased it a little bit. Um, yeah, sure, save. When I had mentioned to Captain Blue Blue that I had like a procedurally generated thing, which basically, let's do a 3D object, a plane, and let's make that a little bit bigger. Okay, that might actually be too big. Let's just do 8. And let's lower that beneath player there, just so I can see something. Miscellaneous materials, how about a dark color? There we go, great. So in this construct, we've got our player, where is it's under here. Player rig, let's set that to 0 so he doesn't move. So here's our player ship. One of the real like pain in the ass challenges with making that scene, which I'll show you in a second with everything turned on, was
Uh-huh.
placing all of those asteroids. One of the ways to do it, and what I had been doing up to this point, was basically I had these two, like this thing, right, where I've
Mm-hmm,
got this
mm-hmm.
prefab from a Unity assets package that I got, and I would just take this and make a whole bunch of those. But and that's kind of what I have done with the main asteroid field, but it wasn't enough. And one of the problems is these aren't shootable. Like the way these are built, because they're just like this complete collection, it just doesn't work with the code that I have. So in order to have like shootable stuff, what I would have to do is use existing prefabs that I've made of asteroids,
Hmm.
like this guy. Put this asteroid here. Now that one's shootable, but if I want to make an asteroid field, well, crap, I gotta just grab all
Yeah.
of these things and like
Yeah.
make it by hand. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to build this efficiently. So
Right.
what I decided to do is I did some experimentation, and one of these things, this asteroid river, totally doesn't work. Save that for another time. But I made this thing called an asteroid field, and basically inside this
Hmm.
cube, it
Hmm.
procedurally generates asteroids for me.
Nice.
So if I wanted, and then these are all the different types of asteroids that it'll put in there, and then this is like the sort of density. I'll just set it at 1 because if I put the density too high, it'll actually populate so many asteroids that it crashes Unity, which is
Wow.
that's the thing that I found out was crashing it. There was one time where it was trying to generate something in excess of like 70,000 asteroids, and like,
Whoa.
yeah, couldn't. That was a coder mistake though, because that was something I should have planned for and not let it try to do that.
Oh.
But if I go ahead and delete some of these bigger ones and just leave a couple of these small ones in here, what we're going to see is when I hit play, actually, that's not very many. And I need to switch this to not maximize on play.
Oh, Cookie's in the channel. Hey, Cookie.
Hey, Cookie, welcome.
Ha-
Actually, I believe that.
Welcome. Happy to
Let's see
have
what
you in
happens
here.
here.
And yes, we're working. The internet's working. Yeah.
Are they just really small? Why is, oh man, did I break this? This is not doing what I was hoping it would do. Yeah, I've completely broken something. Because this is not populating with the asteroids the way it's supposed to. Because even at a density of 5, this should be... Wow, that's weird. It's only putting 1 in there. Let me do this little
Interesting.
debug thing to see what it's doing. 0 asteroids. Why? All right, well, that's lovely. Great. As usual, something that worked off stream isn't working on stream. So you'll have to trust me. I'm going to have
Yep.
to go in and debug why this isn't working. But basically, what it did is inside this cube, it would just fill that up with asteroids.
Yeah.
Um,
No, this reminds me of uh, uh, the thing that I did with Blender. Maybe do you remember
mm,
when I was doing
mhm,
asteroids? It was basically creating a volume and
exactly.
then telling Blender to within this volume, set up a wow, what the hell is it called? It's a hair system. Not hair system. Shit, I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's a particle system.
Either. Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah, yeah,
basically a
yeah.
particle system. Yep. And then just saying within this volume, add 500 500 asteroids, big and small, vary the sizes, vary the rotations, blah blah blah. So I think this is the same kind of deal that what you're trying to show.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, trust me, it did work, and it was what helped me build the other level. Which actually, now that I'm saying that, like, save, sure. I don't know why it's not working because it had it's working in here. Anyway, here's the level.
Oh, cool. You just made a circle. That's smart.
Yes. So, and one of the references that I'm going to show you in a second, because part of like there were a lot of challenges with making this, and what I ended up doing with all of these is I actually did hand place all of these. I just made all these duplicates, because these asteroids are to encapsulate the player's path, so you feel like you're in the asteroid belt the whole time,
Right.
um, and not really intended to be shootable pieces. Whereas over here, these volumes,
Mm,
the player
mhm,
is flying through those,
mhm,
and so
mhm,
these
mhm,
are getting populated with those randomly generated or procedurally generated asteroids for the player to shoot,
mhm,
which
mhm.
apparently maybe these aren't working. Um, but yeah, so you can see like all along the path here where the player flies. Can I select that? There we go. So all along the path here, we have these various like gates. Each one of these gates is either bringing up the dialog box or spawning in enemies.
Nice.
And there are a whole crap ton of them. all along the rail. There's even like more over here,
Yeah.
which are kind of hard to see. But anyway, yeah, there's a whole like shit ton of them in there too. So this is why it took so long, is because I was like, and by the way, this whole section of the asteroid field right here, this is the part that I spent like more than an hour making and then lost it twice.
Oh God. Oh
Yeah,
God.
I know. So this is the third time. What you're seeing here is the third version of making that.
Wow.
So yeah, that was lots of fun. One of the things that came up as a result of this, though, is this really started to tax my system and started
Hmm.
pushing things to the point of like, ooh, I don't know if we're actually going to be able to make the game this way, because one of the things that I've done is I actually start the level with those unloaded, and there
Hmm.
are certain gates along the way that load in other parts of the level and unload other parts of the level. Um, so like if I hit start here and then switch back to this scene, so even though the oh actually I need to switch the player rig back to where he started player, and I've got these like different rails for each section now, so that way when you
Hmm.
get through one section you switch to the the next rail.
Hmm.
um, but if I hit start there, so the player, he's doing, his stuff over here. When he gets to a certain point on the rail, it'll actually like load in some of the other parts of the level. I'll kind of just like leave that there for a second while I mention this. What I realized is, in trying to take some of the feedback from last time about like the speed, like trying to make it feel a little bit faster, which is another thing that I changed. It's really subtle, because I couldn't make it that much faster because it would have broken so many other things. But I did bump the speed, the base speed, from originally it was 15 to
Hmm.
now it's at 25. So it is
Hmm.
a little bit faster, and there's a sequence. So there you
Oh,
go. You can
whoa.
see like the
Whoa.
next part of the
Yeah.
level just popped in.
Yeah.
Um, and then when we get through like somewhere around, I think this corner right here, it'll load in the rest of the level, and I think it'll
Oh.
unload some of the things in the first
Oh,
area,
nice.
because one of the problems is we the end of this level takes place in the same place that the beginning of the level is.
Right.
So I had triggers and things from the beginning of the stage that were then conflicting with the end of the stage. So when you started the mission, you would actually be flying through gates that are not supposed to be triggered until the end of the mission, and so things were like totally broken. So I just start splitting all that stuff up and selectively loading and unloading things. But the bigger thing is, like, performance wise, this is pretty hard on the system to have to like store all of these different asteroids, all these different objects in the game. Um, and so I think there may need to be a fundamental shift in the way I'm thinking about loading in,
Whoa.
or designing the levels.
Yeah.
And and that's where the reference comes in today. That I think an old Sega arcade game that's really great, that I think does a really smart and clever thing, and you would never know it if I didn't, or if somebody didn't point it out and say like, "Hey, you notice what they're doing here? Like, it's pretty clever." Um, but anyway, so again, I'm going to keep it brief. I'm not going to go into great detail about all the problems, but basically, this was just really ambitious. It took a lot of work to like place
Hmm.
everything and to play through repeatedly and balance, like, okay, there should be more enemies here, and maybe this part you turn around. And there were a whole bunch of things that were broken. Like I'd mentioned, Chris, earlier in the week, the shooting system completely broke. So I had to figure out, like, okay, this was working last week. Why isn't it working now? And that took like a day to fix, but I did. And so now that's working. Anyway, so when I looked at this and realized, like, okay, well, this is kind of how I was planning to build all of the other levels. If this is maybe going to be too taxing on the system, really difficult to do, and because I don't even think this is like, I'm glad you were very positive about the way this was like looking, Chris. Um, because I'm like, oh man, this looks like junk. I can't wait to hand this off to like Chris and have him beautify it, make it sexier, and art direct it, because I was like not super thrilled with it. But there's only so much that you can do when you're like trying to build out a rail that
Hmm.
is like 4 to 5 minutes long. That was kind of like my target for each one of the scenes, is to have like it last for about between 3 and like 6 or 7 minutes. So
Hmm.
like 4 to 5 being kind of the sweet spot. Um, doing that though is tough. Like from a production standpoint, it's really difficult to make all of this, which is one of the reasons why I didn't get around to scene 2 this week, is because it just took so long to do scene
Yeah.
1. Um, but now what I would like to show you is a reference to a game that I think solves this problem in a really clever way. And I'm not saying we're going to do that, but I think it is worth looking at. And that game. Oh, and before I jump into that, should we do a chat check-in?
Yeah, sure,
Any?
sure. So I'm gonna go all the way up. Sorry, chat. Let me go all the way up.
Sorry, I was
Uh,
rambling for a long
yeah,
time.
no. You're doing your thing, which is very important. Mestra Virus said, "Well, for the first time seeing this project, it's looking great. Well done, Michael."
Thank you.
Yeah, I added Michael since yeah, you're the one that did the thing. So,
But it only
Captain.
looks as good as it does because of you.
Uh, Teamwork. Captain Blue says, very impressive, even more since I know people who study years in game design at the university. It's a it's it's a really academic field of knowledge to design, play, and game. Yeah,
It's hard.
yeah, definitely. Captain Blue says, imagine if the backup request is answered by a captain of the ship's blue squadron. Smiley winking face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Woo! We're thinking of something, Captain. Don't worry. Don't worry.
We got you.
Cookie says, "Hey, it's working. Welcome, Cookie. Welcome." Uh, Captain Blue says, "Oh, yay, procedural." And Cookie says she misses Coley. Chloe says
Oh.
she's been MIA because she's been working and everything. Cookie
Mm.
says, "Yeah, how have you been?" Captain Blue says, "I like this approach. I did the very same thing in a demo that spawned fossils on the ground to pick up. It spawned game
Mm.
objects." Abernt says, "Looking great, guys. Hey, Abernt, so good to see you. Hello. Yes, we are now employed by Sega, apparently. Joking. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, we're almost done. We just got the first level designed, as you can see by Michael, and very exciting. Kalipa says, just been getting things ready for Jason. Too busy. Blah, 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 blah. Busy. Sorry, I'm looking for. Hey, thank you so much for following Mr. Virus. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Captain Blue says I came across something similar in my Infinite Bridge demo. What I did originally did was spawning bridge parts as game object. That became more taxing and that it needed to be. So what it does not, with the help of a Ubisoft programmer friend, is adding instances in the same game object. Does your field spawn game
Mm.
object or instances? Or static meshes instance rather?
It instantiates game objects from prefabs. So it takes like an existing prefab and then just creates an instance of it inside that box.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
the the like
Even
procedurally generated box. Or sorry, go ahead, Chris.
oh sorry, I was just gonna ask, even instances is taxing on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
system.
Because
Interesting.
you have to use memory. Like anytime there's anything on screen or in the environment, because I also don't really know how Unity keeps track of the things that are off screen. Um, but there probably is some amount of memory allocation because the computer is basically anytime you say, "Hey, this asteroid, it's got a whole bunch of information about here's what it looks like, here's the shape, here's the rotation, here's where it is in the world space." It takes all that information and has to store it in memory. And so if you
Mm-hmm.
have 10,000 asteroids, it's got that amount of information stored 10,000 times. Now it's certainly possible that there are ways on the back end that Unity is being smart about optimizing the way it's keeping track of all of these things, and it might be like, oh, hey, these 500 asteroids all use the exact same prefab, so I'm just going to store that information one time in memory and then put
Mm-hmm.
pointers to that from all the other ones.
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
it still has to keep track of like each individual asteroid is in this position at this rotation, this other one is over here in this position at that rotation. So there is a limit. Like you can't just keep adding stuff, even if it's like, oh, it's all the same asteroid. It's just one prefab
Right.
with one mesh, and it's just
Yeah.
duplicated repeatedly.
Yeah.
There's still a maximum capacity where
Uh,
you're like, well, you're out of memory, man. You can't. The computer can't think
got
about
it.
any more stuff.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
So yeah, it's tricky. And I'm so super new to all this. Like it's the first time I've run into like, oh man,
Yeah.
I'm actually reaching the limitations of what I think the system can handle
Right.
based on what I'm trying to do. So maybe I need to improvise. Um, which, if we're caught up on chat, that's a perfect segue to jump into what I wanted to show you. But
Uh,
are we caught up? Are we
uh,
good for things?
we
Let's
are good. I think we're good. We're good. And thank you again so much, Virus, for
Yeah,
following. Welcome.
yeah.
And
Thank
Koliba
you.
says, one of us. Yeah. Welcome to our tavern.
Welcome to the Creative Tavern cult.
Yeah.
Um,
All right. Go ahead,
okay.
Michael.
So this game is called LA Machine Guns, Rage of the Machines, not Rage Against the Machine. That's a different thing. Um, this was an arcade game from the late 90s or maybe early 2000s, made by Sega. And this was actually a sequel to another game called New York Gunblade, I think, or NY Gunblade, something like that. I never played that one. I only played this one. Um, and it's a rail shooter, and it's very similar to some of the other arcade rail shooters we've looked at, where it's first person. But in this case, you're actually flying around in these sort of like hovercraft things,
Oh,
player one and player two.
this
Yeah,
is a Judge Dredd's kind of deal.
yeah, good reference.
Yeah.
So you're playing, these two sort of like special special forces responders, and there are these like android characters that are attacking, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, and so this is kind of what the whole game is like, where you're just flying around and shooting these guys. Now, what's really interesting to me is even though you're flying around, you're like, oh yeah, cool, like you're in these city streets, and we're flying over here, and then now that you're shooting this helicopter, and then in a second here we're gonna be in this parking lot, and then there's stuff going on over here, and it feels like you're really, in a very similar way to what I kind of did with the first level, where you're flying in a linear path and you're going through these like various scenes and different things are happening. So like now you're flying up over the freeway over here and shooting guys, and then they're going to keep going. It feels like there's this very linear sequence of like, okay, there's the parking lot, then there's the park, then there's the highway, then there's the I don't know, the side street or whatever. And it feels like all these different pieces, but what's actually happening is they only built like 3 or 4 city blocks, and you're actually recycling these areas. Like you're flying. So now we're
Sure.
actually flying underneath that same highway that we were flying over before, but it
Yeah.
looks like a totally different area.
Yeah.
And then we've already passed through this like central park area. Like this is the third or fourth time we've passed by it. But doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's new
Mhm.
stuff.
Mhm.
So one of the thing and the way they're doing that is they basically build those like couple city blocks, and then you're flying around in that sort of sandbox and like going and doing a thing in an area, and then you fly and do something in another area, maybe from a different angle, maybe from a different position. And I was
Right.
looking at this going like, man, that's really clever, because like one of the missions that we'll see in a second here, and in fact, I'll just let this play because this is the final boss for this area. Um, and that's how brief these levels are. I timed them. They're like roughly about 4 minutes on average, which, hey, that's perfect. That's exactly what we're going for.
Yeah.
Um, but I thought like, wow, it's so clever to do it this way, because the level design requirements are so much lower. The system resource requirements are so much lower if you have like just so like looking at the asteroid field that I made a second ago, where basically every single part of that is you're only in it for that like one moment that you're flying through it, with the exception of the fleet, where that one I went back there after I found this reference. Well, yeah, after I sought this reference out and was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna do a little bit of this and recycle that area, so I don't have to
Mhm.
build like a." Because my original plan was that there was going to be a second fleet arrival that was going to happen. Um, but I decided not to do that because I ran out of time. Um, but the same sort of thing happens like with this level here, where you're kind of like out in the ocean. There are like these three. Speaking of fleets, there's these like three ships here in the water, and then the camera will fly over to like the dock area. I'm gonna skip forward a little bit. So now we're over in this dock area, and we kind of just fly around here, shooting stuff on the bridge and whatever. The point is, the actual area that the level design makes up is pretty small. Like it's really
Mm,
minimal. There's just not a whole lot going on there, and you're just flying around and looking in different angles. So one of the things that I think I'm going to try to do in maybe scene 2 is this kind of same sort of idea, where rather than build a linear, like you're only in this section one time and I'm going to custom make it just for that one moment, I'm going to try to build a sort of like the mining colony, but maybe at a smaller scale, and then use the rail system to kind of like fly to different parts of it, and then look at like different angles, and then maybe return to certain parts, but have like different enemies there or something happening, to see if that is any better in terms of like both production efficiency for me to be able to make all the rest of the levels and not feel like, man, it takes so much effort to make a
right.
single level, and also be less demanding on the on the system, on the computer or the hardware, whoever's playing the game on their system. And I feel really confident about it because until I like really paid attention, I didn't even notice that that was happening in this game. And I think part of the reason for that is because the most important thing is the game feel. It's the shooting. It's
Sure.
hitting the targets. Like the stuff that's happening in the background is really kind of just like icing on the cake. It just, it helps add to the immersion, but you're not paying that much attention to like, oh, they're just recycling the same, like we're just flying around the same warehouse over
Right.
and over again. Because
Right.
like when we get to this mission, which is we'll hit a little close to home here, Chris. This
Oh,
is the
there you
Las
go.
Vegas Strip
Excalibur.
level.
Oh my God, I
Yeah,
see it.
exactly.
There's the MGM. There's the MGM. Oh my gosh. Wow, they recreated it so well. What the hell?
Yeah. So
What
this
the
is the Vegas
frack?
mission.
Oh
But what's
wow.
crazy about this one is this entire level is just this one little part of the street. Like you
Uh,
don't go anywhere else. I mean, granted, like
uh-huh.
Las Vegas, that's kind of the thing, right? It's like the strip
Yeah.
is the street.
Yep.
But it's really only this sort of like roughly 3 blocks of the strip, and they've got this whole 4 or 5 minute mission with multiple types of enemies, different moments that happen. Sometimes you're like protecting civilians. There's like tanks and shit that come in here.
Yeah.
But it's the same idea where it's like you're kind of just flying around this small little area, and the only thing that's really changing are the enemies that are coming in and out.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to share that. I thought that was really interesting and helpful, and then there were a couple of other things about this that I was like pretty jazzed about in terms of gameplay and seeing like how much stuff can be going on screen, like how much chaos you can have going and have it be like still fine and fun. This doesn't. This feels. It's busy, but it's not like, oh man, what an eyesore. It's more like, man, this game's chaotic and frenzied, and like this is cool.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's part of its appeal. I'm not saying that we need to go that far and do all this, but um, it that was another like good reference point. But anyway, LA Machine Guns.
Yeah,
Check it out.
I think this is very cool. I mean, obviously we're like flying back and forth in the same environment, but we're just it's good. We're utilizing every face. Oh, that's so funny. It's not called MGM. It's called Naomi or something like that. Uh, what's it called?
Yeah,
Naomi. Yeah, Naomi. Wow.
right.
Uh, that's so
Good
interesting.
eye.
And yeah, what was I saying? We're using all the faces of the level, and so and
Mm-hmm.
I really really love the way you designed scene one, is because it's basically a circle, and that circle kind of reminds me. I don't know if you guys. It's funny. It's not the McDonald's sign. It's actually the upside down. It's a upside down McDonald's. Anyways, yeah, the reason why you did a circle, it kind of reminded me of the scene from Star Wars Episode 2 when Anakin was chasing that spy, and then he was running, trying to chase, right? And then he was like running through crowds and everything. The way they filmed that,
Oh yeah, yeah.
the camera was like in the center of the circle, and then it was just basically just panning them running so that it kind of
Hmm.
feels like a circle. So that kind of made me feel like, oh, this is great, because when you're inside of the circle, you and in the tunnel of the asteroids,
Hmm.
because they're asteroids, I can't tell if it's like, I can't tell like if that's actually the same space that I just passed like 3 minutes ago, right? So because
Exactly.
because they're asteroids, it's so much. We could do so much with it. We could have them go forward and then sideways and then backwards and then upside down, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's like how you could actually prolong this as much as you want.
Hmm.
Obviously, I'm like theoretically, because there's the whole memory of it all. But yeah, I think this is so smart. And that's why when I saw this, I was like, oh yeah, this is great. This is really really good.
Yeah, great feedback, Chris. Yeah, so like I don't think I've completely taken advantage of that sort of like circular environment here because I honestly didn't think about it until I was like more than halfway done with this
Mhm
area.
mhm mhm.
But yeah, you're spot on. Like that is kind of the idea is that if you have um it really just trying to like create the illusion that you're in this asteroid field, even if I've actually engineered it in a way that makes it easier for us to build a level
Yeah
around.
yeah. Let me read what the chat has to say.
Sure.
Virus says this whole level looks like it has 50 polygons between the whole level, though. In your game, I'm guessing the asteroids and the ships are way more detailed.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
yeah, yeah,
yeah, we
definitely.
yeah. For the nerds out there, I think LA Machine Guns was made with Sega, like one of their arcade systems. I think it was something 3. And I think that supported up to like 100,000 polygons or something like that. So it's really limited back in the day. But yeah, we have way more than that in our game, or in
Yeah.
this one scene, really, because this isn't even all of the scenes. This is just the first scene.
Yeah, and Captain Blueboo says, "Sounds like a good idea. It could always be expanded after the beta's release if you feel it needs more level space." Yeah, 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 yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, Blueboo. Blueboo says, "Las Vegas has other streets other than Vegas." No, we only have one street. That's it. It's just
Just that
Vegas.
one.
We only have
Everybody
Vegas.
who lives in Vegas lives on that street.
We all live in hotel rooms. But yeah, Michael,
um,
this looks great. Do you mind moving your mouse really quick? There you go. Thank you.
oh,
Uh,
sure. Oh, you want my mouse like up here?
Oh, yeah, so
Or
it's not
off?
in the way. Yeah, off the
Got it.
screen. Yeah, this is
Yeah,
cool.
actually, I can't play with that. Oh, one other thing I was going to point out. You notice the big asteroids in the background there, like the one that's
Hmm.
right in front of us? That is the one that you updated,
Oh,
kind of like
perfect.
smoothed out.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pause and jump over to here. And then like this is what it was before, and this is what it is now. I
Hmm
think
hmm.
it may be a little too smooth now.
Uh-huh,
At
uh-huh.
least compared to like some of the other like all these asteroids look pretty consistent and sharp to me.
Yeah, yeah.
This one looks it kind of looks like a chocolate covered raisin now. It looks
Y-
real soft and pillowy. I
Right,
kind of
right,
want to
right.
eat it.
Um,
Um,
I can I can make it look more like the other ones, but um but I'm gonna have to add more polygons,
mhm.
and unless it's absolutely necessary, uh then I would say, for me it looks okay because it's like a third read. Um, but if you want, I
Okay.
could add more polygons and make it look as sharp. Yeah.
Um, if it's not bothering you, I think we just leave it. And we either will just use the existing polygonal one, or maybe we can mix them up and use both of them.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, if it's not bothering you, let's just leave it alone and we'll fix it some other
Cause
time if it
cause
becomes a problem.
cause there's so much going on in the environment. Do you mind playing again? Yeah.
Yep.
Cause I'm
Here, let me restart this.
my eye is not on the asteroid at all.
Right. And that's a really good point because that was one of the things that I realized when I was making this level and playtesting certain parts. Was like so focused on like, oh man, I need to make this look cool. I need to like figure out what the asteroids are doing right here. And then when I was playing it, I would realize that I would fly through that area specifically to review it. But because I was so focused on shooting the drones, I would zip through there and realize like, ah, shit, I wasn't paying attention to looking at the environment I was supposed to be reviewing. And then I would
Right.
hit replay, do it again, and the same thing would happen. I would get distracted by shooting the drones and would like,
Yeah.
oh man, I forgot to review the level design.
Well, can you pause right there? The
Uh,
ones in the
Shit,
back,
sorry, I'll
it's
back up.
okay. The one that wasn't the new one, the soft one, even that it doesn't bother me with with it being so jaggedy sharp.
Polygonal.
Yeah,
Okay.
political. Again, it's fine. Like for what we have now for our alpha release or pro. By the way, I was talking about our game on my stream, Lee Design Studio stream,
Mm-hmm.
and people, I went and explained to them that yeah, we're not putting out a beta, we're putting out a prototype, and that two people were like, you mean alpha? I'm like, no, no, no,
Mm,
it's not really an alpha. They're like, no, 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 it's prototypes are more or less alphas. I'm like, I'm gonna have to get back to Michael on that, but for now, okay, yes, we're creating an alpha, but I kept saying prototype.
I mean, honestly, at this point, alpha, beta, public beta, pre-alpha, uh, early access, all of this stuff is like the definitions are so vague and they can like
Yeah,
mean a different thing to a different studio or a different person.
yeah,
Um, for me, I personally feel like an alpha is where you've really locked in. This is what the game is. This is basically the way the level progression is going to go. There might be some like major assets that are missing, might be some pretty serious bugs that are in there. Potentially there are entire levels that you haven't made yet. So you just say like, hey, placeholder here, we're skipping from level 5 to level 8 because we don't have level 6 and 7 done yet.
hmm hmm
Um, that could be like alpha level. And then beta is like, all right, this thing's basically done. We're polishing a couple of things and we need help identifying where the other bugs are that we haven't run into yet. Um, and then prototype on the front end of that is like, this is an idea of what we think this game could look like, but by the time it gets to final release, like this level that we're looking at right now for scene one,
hmm
this might be
hmm
completely different. Like
Yeah, yep, yep, yep.
based on the research that I've done and the findings that I didn't know about until I got into this, we're like, oh shit, the system performance is really taking a crash here, and this is really hard to design levels this way. Yeah, I might need to use that newfound information to build the rest of the game, and then come back to this level and be like, okay, I need to refit this one to match with what we've discovered later on. So
Yeah,
for me, I still think it's a prototype because it's proof of concept. It's basically saying here's an idea for a game, and here's like as a version of it that we've made just to kind of sell the idea. But I would not feel comfortable calling this an alpha and putting it into like hey, it's up on Steam. Like we're gonna do an alpha for 2 months, and
yeah,
then we're gonna do a beta, and then it's yours. Like this might change
yeah.
significantly between now and then,
Got
but
it,
I don't know. That's
got
my
it.
2 cents.
Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, sorry, let me read what Captain Blue says. He says, I'm so excited about this. This is really coming together. Yeah, Captain Blue says, I'm hyped and ready to put my money on the table. Yeah, thank you so
Oh,
much for
thanks,
your
Captain
support,
Blue
Blue
Blue.
Blue. I didn't notice it until it got pointed out, and now I can't unsee it. Oh, he's talking about the asteroid. But I am not busy shooting either, so I can afford to stare at it a bit. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. I mean,
yeah.
there you go. So I think that just speaks to the same conclusion. Like, let's leave it alone, especially because as long as the drones look really good and the shooting is really fun, the stuff that's kind of happening in the background is just that, and it's happening in the background.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think good job, Michael. This looks freaking awesome. I can't wait until we get music inside, and then the
Yeah.
special effects. Yeah,
Music and sound effects, and yep, the
yeah,
whole shebang. Oh, one other thing that I changed that is really pretty subtle, and since nobody's pointed it out, I'm sure it doesn't even really matter. I actually made the size of the laser bolts coming out of the player's gun bigger.
Oh,
They're
nice.
about a third, maybe like 50, yeah, 30 to 50% larger than they were before.
Uh-huh,
Um,
uh-huh.
Part of the reason was like when I was watching LA Machine Guns, I realized like, oh man, the bolts that they're firing out of their gun are huge, and that actually can make it easier for the player to hit things because there were a couple of parts where I was like, man, it's really hard to hit these drones, and I didn't want to change
Mhm,
the hitbox too much.
mhm.
So I made the bullets a little bit bigger. Super minor thing that it's not really
No,
that
no,
important.
I think that's great. I think it's great.
And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here and say that my plans moving forward are I'm going to obviously try to get scene 2 done. I would really like to have scene for the next 2 weeks. My ideal outcome would be next week I'll have scene 2 and 3 done. Then the following week I'll have scene 4 and 5 done. Then the
Mhm.
following week after that we can do remaining. I don't know. We'll cross the bridge when we get to do remaining catch up work
Yeah.
on if there are any like major bugs or if you want to start doing sound design stuff. We can kind of add those things in there and maybe also start doing the overall game transitions where we can transition from scene 1 to scene 2 to scene 3 to scene 4 and
Mhm,
so on and so forth.
mhm.
Um, I'm also going to continue to be adding a couple of little things along the way if I can or if they become necessary, kind of like this moment right here with the drones now having the pursue function, because the level design kind of called for it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the time to program that in. Um, and also fix a couple of bugs. One thing you'll notice is like I'm getting shot in the ass right there because I
Yeah.
didn't
Oh,
kill that
yeah.
drone. He's
Yeah.
still back there.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Um, I need to program out in a way where if you don't kill a drone before you change direction and you start flying somewhere else, I need to disable those drones.
Right.
So there's little things like that that are game breaking that I'm gonna need to fix, but I'm just not super worried about it right now.
Nice.
And that's it. Unless you well, yeah. If anybody has any like major suggestions for revisions to scene 1, I'm definitely all ears. I'm not completely satisfied with it yet, but for a first draft, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
And if we want to do additional things to it, I'll take a note of that, and then later on, after the prototype is out, we'll revisit it and continue plussing scene 1. But for now, I'm calling it done.
Uh, for for feedback from me, really quick, the points that come out of the bots, for example, that
Yeah.
100, we could change
Uh-huh.
that font, correct?
Totally.
Okay, good. We will change that font, and then I gotta give you the time targets, reticles, if that's what they're called, in 3D, a designed target reticle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I gotta get that to
Speaking
you.
of that, one other potential major change that I might make between now and the end of the prototype is
That's
one
so
thing that
cool.
you may have noticed. I'm gonna stop that and I'm gonna switch back to LA Machine Guns and kind of show you something here. One thing you may notice. Let's skip to yeah right here and see if I can find some of this.
Weird, they had Monte
Um,
Carlo.
I'm gonna slow this down actually to like 25% speed. So the player's like shooting the characters, right? But then when they're trying to shoot at you, uh, and so when the enemies are not attacking you, they don't have any sort of target on them at all. But when
Right.
they shoot at you,
Mm-hmm.
that's when a target kind of zooms like right there. So that's showing you
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, this guy's just shot at you, so you need to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, Currently, the way it works in our game, I'm going to switch back now and switch back to Unity. Sorry, I'm going on
It's
a little bit longer than I had
it's
hoped
okay. It's okay.
I would.
It basically spins,
Almost.
right?
Wait, say it again.
The target reticle basically like spins clockwise or counterclockwise.
Oh, damn it. Yeah, and so the spinning thing is totally cool. Like In fact, I would prefer it to spin, give it a little bit of personality.
Yeah.
But the way the sort of like pace of the game works is once we get these enemies coming in here, so the enemies fly into place, and then after a very small period of time, they start shooting you, right? And then they've got this window where they're not attacking you, and then they start shooting you again. And so the idea is that you need to take them out as quickly as possible before they deplete your shield. I kind of think that it would feel better they if they attacked more slowly but did more damage, and when they were about to attack, you would get that time target reticle that would zoom in and be like, hey, this particular, there's like
Mm.
a dozen enemies on screen, but this one is about to shoot you. So then
Mhm,
you got to
mhm, mhm.
prioritize, like, oh, I need to kill that guy first.
Sure.
Um, I think that would be more fun than the way it is right now, because right now it's just a little bit chaotic, and not in a way that's like, ooh, this is fun and exciting.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it, it's not providing that sort of like consistent feedback for the player to make a decision about what they need to do in this circumstance, which I think is important. So I may do that. That's probably going to be the only like really big thing that I may change.
R-
Everything else is just going to have to kind of we're going to kind of have to live with it. Oh wow, look at this guy's
Sure.
freaking out.
Whoa.
Um, so yeah, there you go. That's it for me. That's what I'm gonna work on, and hopefully we'll have more cool stuff to see next week.
Nice. Michael, great job. I haven't read the chat yet, but Michael, from me to you, amazing job. This is like your first ever you lost your cherry moment, as in, you finally designed your first level, so and you showed it to the
Yeah.
world. So we're very, very proud of you. This is freaking awesome, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, this was hard. This video games is tough. It is not
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I guess quick question for is has post process been placed in the environment yet with what I'm seeing right now?
With what you're saying, yes, but it is significantly reduced from what it was in some of the like sample scenes that I was showing you a
Got it.
couple weeks
Got it.
ago.
Sure, sure, sure. Okay.
And that's mostly just because there are certain emissions elements that I haven't figured out why they cause this huge, like super overexposed bloom that's just
Ah.
completely blows out your ability to see anything.
Mhm, mhm,
Um,
mhm.
so at some point, hopefully before the prototype's done, but possibly not, maybe later, I would like to go in and fine tune and figure out like what's causing that. Maybe like post processing gets applied a little bit less on certain things and a little bit more on other things.
Mhm, mhm.
Because I want the like laser bolts to really pop. Um, more than they are popping on screen right now.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
as you can see, even with this level of post processing, the glow on the player ship when it gets hit is like really bright.
Yeah.
I'd like to like tone down the player ship flashing and tone up the laser bolt flashing.
Right, right, right.
But right now, I don't know how to do that. Everything is just all operating off the same uh, post processing. So good question.
Sure, sure, sure. Very cool, very cool. And Captain Blue's last comment is that I didn't react to the size of the laser a problem. Speak to its importance that you changed it. Let me read that one more time. Uh, that I didn't react to the size of the lasers, a problem speaks to its importance that you changed. Oh, meaning it wasn't a huge deal that you changed the
Yeah.
lasers, and I think what you did is totally fine. It looks great. I didn't even notice
Thanks.
at all. So, and I think it looks great.
Well, excellent. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Yep. 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 Man, this
Alrighty.
is this is great, dude.
Yeah. Thanks. And hopefully we'll have some more cool stuff to show next time. And I will also work on some of the jank, some of the like screen shaking things that we've
Mhm.
been saying.
Mhm.
But later because I don't have time to do that right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for me. Are you ready
Yeah.
to show some stuff, Chris?
Yes.
Okay,
Let
great.
me show you some stuff, and I'm gonna try to fly through this really quick, and this is something that Michael and I kind of already discussed uh on
Um,
on on what day I forget.
sorry.
Yeah.
Can I interrupt real quick? While you're pulling that up, could I take a quick restroom break?
Yeah, of course, of course. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll be
And
right
it's
back.
being pulled up right now. So last week, what I was actually supposed to show you guys was a lot of the UI elements. For example, the HUD. I kind of gave a HUD, the screen with the power bar right here, your score right here, your mission objective right here, the dialogue box right here. I actually did a pass of that. I was supposed to show that to you guys yesterday, or not yesterday, on Sunday, but obviously the internet crapped out, and so Michael gave me feedback, and I went ahead and changed it. I wanted to wait until. I mean, I could show this to you guys and to Michael on Sunday, but again, time is of the freaking essence right now, so I wanted to get his feedback right away so that I can make the changes, give him all the assets that he needs so that he could actually put it in Unity because we're moving at a mile a minute, man. Captain Blue says, no, I didn't mean that. Sorry for mistyping. Yeah, no worries, dude. No worries. And so today I'm just going to show you, as well as Michael, what some of the changes that I did. And that's about it. That's about it. So I will show the Michael to right now. And Michael's back. Hello, Michael. Oh, come on.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. All right. So what I will do is it's time for me to share the screen. And oh shit, that's the wrong screen. Is it the wrong screen? Screens. No, it's screen number 4.
There we
All
go.
right. And share Chris. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what we are looking at is essentially the UI HUD for our game. And I made a little bit of changes based on Michael's feedback. So now, before, I mean, I could show you before and after, but no, I'm not going to show you before and after. We decided to get rid of the ship health, but instead just only keep shield health. Instead of ship health, I'm sorry, the hull health, right? I'm sorry. It was the hull and the shield basically.
Hmm.
And then we got rid of the hull and then we only just kept the shield. And so this is
Yep.
what it is now. Okay, so with that said, this is what it looks like, Michael. Overall, what do you think
Looks so good. I love it
of
so
it?
much.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it. Oh, hold on. What's going on here? Can I zoom in? Can you guys see that? Okay. On the screen, it looks okay.
The
Yeah, sweet.
only thing, uh, can we maybe do, and hopefully it's a really minor thing, can we maybe do a version of the shield bar at the top without the text, without it saying shield health? So maybe have
Uh,
that like the upper like outline bar contiguous,
yeah,
so
of
it doesn't
course.
have that break in the middle. That's the only thing, because I'm thinking, yeah, maybe we don't need to say shield health up there. I've been saying that in the game so far, just as sort of like a like, hey, this isn't this. That's what this is, but I don't know that it really needs to be up there.
The only reason why I like that there is only because it actually feels a little bit balanced. Um,
Hmm. Helps add
uh,
to the like. This is the
yeah,
center of this. Okay. Well,
exactly.
I mean, we could.
No, 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 no. But let me go ahead and take a look, see if it actually if it bothers me or not. Because what I can also do is I can make a different kind of element.
Hmm.
I mean, now
Yeah, it
now
feels
it
like
kind
a
of
giant
like
chasm, huh?
yeah, it needs something here, but I'll go ahead and try to come up with something because when there was a shield health, it felt balanced. But if you don't want it there, I'll have to come up with some type of like a graphic or something
Well,
that is up there.
j- just leave it there for now. If in the next 12 months we decide like, hey, let's sexy this up and put something else in there, then we will. For now, let's just leave it as is. I think it's fine. I'm being pedantic at this point. I'm noodling. I'm catching
Uh,
myself.
okay. Shoot, I lost the Oh, actually, hold on. Sorry. There you go.
There you go. Okay. Sorry. Didn't mean to get distracted by that.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Sorry, deselect. All right, and
Yeah,
then
that's looking good too.
And then so in you've also requested a red version.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh, actually, hold on. Before I do that, so concept wise, when your shield goes down, it goes something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys see that? Yeah, something like that. All right, so there's that.
Lovely.
And in the red version, I have here. Why did it move down? Why it keeps moving down? It's so weird. There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go. That looks great.
So it's
Um,
like, go
mhm.
ahead. Yeah.
Oh, you go first, and then if you address it, then I won't bring it up.
No, no, no. Nothing.
Well,
Go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say for the red version, the red bar should be empty. It should be red, but it should look like it's yeah, exactly like that.
Okay. Yeah,
But
perfect.
actually, I'm glad you did the full version too, because maybe we can flash it, we can pulse it. It's like if you were to turn it on and off, yeah, then it would like really like scream at the player, like your shield is gone, don't take any more damage.
Yeah. I mean, you
But
could
yeah,
also uh flash this warning shield
mm,
damage critical thing too, if you
totally.
want. Is this wording okay? Shield damage critical? Is there any other wording that you would like instead?
Um,
You could tell me later, but
yeah,
I'm
let's
just
talk about that
saying that,
later. But
yeah, we
for
could
now, that's
definitely
great.
change it.
That's yep.
Sweet.
For now, it's perfect.
Awesome. Okay, so that's what it is for this. I cleaned some stuff up in here, so I made this a little bit darker so that the words you
Oh
could
yeah,
see
yeah,
it.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I moved this out a little bit more, and then I've also created. I mean, this is just a more technical version, but basically, when no one is talking, the box will be there, but until someone talks, then their picture will show up. That's just an option if you want to do it that way, because I'm not
Okay.
really sure as to how you're planning to pop them up. But I'm just created like some graphics. So this
Ooh.
blue box will always. Oh, go ahead.
Uh, that's perfect. Because what would be really cool to, and I'm adding scope here. I'm sorry, but hopefully this is a really easy one. It'd be neat to have like a static image, like an image of static, like a staticky image, like snow or something,
Hmm.
that could pop in there and kind of wiggle around for a second before the avatar came in. So it's like a, and
Hmm.
then you
Hmm.
would get that person's face, and then they would talk to you, and then they would go away.
Sure,
Um,
sure, sure, sure.
Sorry, couldn't help myself. But yes, that's perfect. Thank you for doing that because the plan is if nobody's talking, there's no dialogue box UI on the screen. But when somebody does talk, it'd be neat to be able to build in the pieces and create a sort of like poor man's animation uh,
Hmm. Hmm.
when they pop in and out.
Okay. Yes, yes, I could definitely create that. Um, my question to you is more on a technical level, this next question.
Okay.
Do you want everything, for example, like, oh shit, oh man. Ugh. Do you want everything, for example, like, fuck me, man. Come on, stop moving, you son of a bitch. This box, for example, like all the different elements that's on screen right now, do you want it
Whoa.
all on its own layer?
Oh.
Yeah, how would you want me to give you this image?
Okay. Um. So the answer is probably going to be quite technical. If you can send me a screenshot of this,
Hmm.
I will mm, take that and make some notes on it, some like red lines on it, and say like a separate element for this part, like all three layers for this part. Um, yeah, because there's some things that I'm gonna want where to have them like connected together in the layout that you've already created, but then other
Hmm.
pieces where I'm gonna need to like swap in this
Sure,
version, like the blue shield for the red shield, that sort of thing.
sure.
um, and in building the UI layers for Unity. Uh, so yeah, send me a screenshot and then
Okay.
I'll break it down for you and try to get that back to you as quickly as possible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay. Anything else on here? What is that? Okay. All right, cool. Anything else that I want to share on this? All right, let me take a look at chat. Mestra Virus says, "Ooh, very nice, mock-up. I like it. Yeah, very cool. Glad you like it." Heaven Blue says, "What I meant, I didn't think the size of the lasers after the change was a problem, and that speaks to the importance of the change that was made. The fact that I didn't react to it shows its efficiency." Yep,
There
totally,
you go.
totally.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you, Captain Lulu. All right, so this is good. I'll go ahead and send you a screenshot of this, and then you could mark up how you want me to cut up the PNG pieces that I will give to you.
Sure.
Okay. As also as you guys can tell, Michael and I agree that we'll go ahead and instead of doing our the target reticle as kind of like the X's pointed out, I kind of came up with like this design, and then Michael told me like we kind of need this design in 3D. So I went ahead and created this in Blender. So this is
Ooh.
now in
Whoa.
3D. And I know you want that parallax effect. I'm gonna give
Mm-hmm.
it to you in in separate layers so that you can tell me if it actually works. Maybe you don't want it. Maybe you don't want this piece to be with this piece. Maybe you want like the cross to be at its own piece. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know because I mean if we do this, if I do this, it kind of well, let me zoom out. You can tell it's doing the
Yeah.
parallaxing
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. But obviously we wanted to see it in the game to see if it actually works or not. And obviously if you make this a lot farther away from one another, then it totally makes a huge difference how it looks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So yeah, so I would say just play with it, Michael, and see how it feels
Okay.
and seeing if you like it or not. Or if
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
great.
is there a reason why we're splitting it, have it parallax versus just having it on the same
Yes.
thing?
Yes. The reason is because unlike a first person shooter game where wherever you're aiming on screen it's going to shoot right there, the bullets are not coming from the center of the screen. The bullets are coming from the center of wherever the ship is. So if the ship
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm.
off center from the screen, you need to be able to see where those
Mm-hmm.
shots are going to go, and the only way to like really like not have this crazy mind fuck happen
Yeah.
is if you can see the closer targeting reticle and the further targeting reticle, because without that or with that you can see the relationship of like connecting this one in your mind's eye to that one. You can see, that's the line where the lasers go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whereas
Right.
if it's just the one, you have no point of reference, and the reason why I did it in the first place because when I originally had just the one, and when I
Yeah.
was playing, it was so hard to hit things because I couldn't tell where I was actually aiming. I was like,
Right.
this is
Right.
clearly right over the enemy, but actually because I was so far off to the side of the screen, if you actually move the camera to where the ship was, like, oh, I'm actually shooting to the far to the right of that enemy. No
Right.
wonder. But
Right.
if you have the two of them, then you can kind of see where that
The perspective line.
invisible aim
Yeah.
line is.
Yeah. 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 Cool. Understood. Understood. And now that I'm thinking about it, instead of giving, because right now these basically are grouped together,
Hmm.
um, I'm gonna break it apart even more so that
Okay.
you have the ability to see what combination is the best. Because I'm not sure if the way I did it is good. So I would love for you to be able to take it and see if the better outcome. For example, like if you don't want this little dot in the middle, you could just don't use that. Just not have it in there. Um, you could just select it and then delete it. But currently, right
Yeah,
now, it's all part of
I
one
like
group.
it. Yeah.
Okay, good, 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 good. But just an example, right, right.
Sure, sure,
So,
sure.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
no, no,
so
that's great.
yeah, if you don't want like the outer circle right here, this circle right here, you could take it out if you want. So yeah, I'm gonna break it up into even more pieces so that you can actually um, create the combination that you want.
Perfect.
Cool.
Yeah, that's great. Looks awesome, Chris. Thank you.
So yeah, no problem. And I will create the 3D or come up with a design for the 3D reticles that is spinning for the enemies as well, so that you could
Ooh,
put that
yeah,
there.
cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And then the next thing I want to show you is
Ooh.
it's not done yet. It's not done yet, but Michael and I talked about creating kind of
So cool.
like a force field, like a
Yeah.
shield. Whenever like a bad guy
Wow.
hits you, it'll show up. And I'm trying to do this emission layer. I'm not getting it.
Hmm.
These are rest of the bots. I'm not totally getting it right. Um, Michael, do you just want this as a geometry and then and then do I just put a translucent layer on it and then when it's hit, it lights up? The geometry is there. I just don't know how to shade it is the question. Like like uh you're obviously gonna program it in that when a laser hits this geometry, it's gonna light up, right? It's gonna appear or light up, correct?
Yeah.
We won't see it until you get hit. Um,
Right.
so therefore, what the hell am I trying to say? Is
I
it a
think I know what
trans?
you're trying to say. Yeah,
It,
because yeah, the geometry I agree. Like I love the shape. Like I think that looks really cool. It's just a matter of like how do we actually render that in the game? Um, I mean, I'm
yeah.
not familiar enough with like shaders and stuff to really know like what the most appropriate way to do it would be. But for now, what I'm thinking, it would probably do something similar to like the hit flash effect, where you would have an invisible material
Uh-huh.
uh, when it's not being hit. Then when it gets hit, we'd switch to a different material that is sort of like a translucent, but maybe it has a bit of a blue emission glow that kind
Yeah.
of like pulses and then fades away.
That's what I was trying to do with this. I kind of ran out of time. The white was supposed to be like a I don't know, like a blue or white
Mm-hmm,
is
mm-hmm.
whatever color we want it to be, and then black is transparent so that we see through the black, and it's actually supposed to create like a nice looking shape. Um, but I haven't gotten it there yet. Uh,
Okay.
so give me a moment. Give me a few
Yeah,
days to
yeah,
figure
yeah.
this out, and I'm
Take
gonna
your
put the
time. This
shader
this
in.
is not urgent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Uh, and that's it. That's it for me. On my end. You got this. You got that. And then I need to give you the prefab for scene 5, and I'll try to get that to you ASAP.
Excellent. Thanks,
Very
dude.
cool.
Yeah, this everything you showed looks awesome.
Yeah, sweet, 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 sweet. Okay, and also I got it. Hold on. I gotta get a screenshot of HUD to Michael. All right, sweet. Captain Blue says the game could draw out the edges of the mesh also. The game could draw out the edges of the mesh also. That takes
Oh.
from Chris and puts on Michael though.
Hmm. I wonder if I can use that outline script that I'm using for the drones. Uh,
Oh,
maybe I can modify that to like create an outline for the shield. Just like customize it a little bit so that way the shield gets its own sort of like outline. And
yeah,
maybe I can
yeah.
use that, have that go along the in a vertices is where two of them meet. What's the line between two vertices?
What's the line between? It's called an edge.
An edge. There you go.
Yeah.
So maybe we can have it. No promises. I mean, I'll mess around with it and see if it like
Mm-mm-mm.
does the trick and looks cool. But
Yeah.
maybe we'll start. Maybe we start there, and if that doesn't solve the problem, then we'll continue fixing it.
Yeah. I think the answer is there's like 100 different ways to do this. We just got to find the easiest or the most
Easiest,
competent way.
fastest,
Yeah, yeah,
quickest
yeah.
way. Yeah,
Yeah, whatever way we can do
the
it.
first
I'm
one
sure.
that works.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yep, 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 yep. All right. That's it for Michael and myself. We kind of I mean, we didn't rush through it. I just wanted to, show you guys as well as Michael the update that I did because I didn't want to wait until Sunday because we gotta churn things like as quick as possible. Quick as possible. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, sweet. Okay. Um, Michael, I'm gonna hand it back to you. Do we have time for trivia?
Uh, I think so. Yeah, and trivia's it's going to be pretty brief tonight. I only did 3 questions, partially because I knew that we were going to have a condensed time frame tonight, and also partially because I was really busy and I didn't have a lot of time to mess around with trivia this week. Sorry.
Yeah, no, no,
Um,
no, of course. No, of course. Don't, no need to apologize.
but tonight's theme, I was going to do westerns, but really narrowed it down, and it's basically specifically Clint Eastwood. So it's just Clint Eastwood trivia tonight. 3 questions. And whoever wants to play, let me know, and we'll start getting your names added to the list here.
Cookie is here. Captain Blue is here. Mestra
Yeah.
Virus is here. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Please join us, Mestra Virus. We are every single Wednesday we play trivia. All right, hold on. Let me stop streaming my thing, and then go to this, and then go here. All right, sweet. Mestra Vista is here. Sweet. Thank you again, Virus, for being here and just being, taking part of being on this journey with
Oh,
us.
I forgot. We forgot something again. We didn't talk about the stage progression thing. Do you want to do that
Oh,
now?
yes. Sorry, guys. Sorry. We need to talk about
Didn't
something
mean to
kind of,
tease you.
yeah. We need to do something really important. Uh, give us 1 second. So Michael's gonna bring it up.
Let's
It's
see
part of the game
here.
also. We got to talk about this.
Yeah. Okay, so stage progression screen and the 2 pieces: stage progression and score, like mission complete score screen. So the stage progression can really be something. This is from like the Jurassic Park game, which as you progress through the game, like when you first start the game, it's got this like flashing pink thing that says like, you're entering Area 1. Then as you proceed, like when you get to Area 2, then this pops back up. Like this isn't on the screen the whole time. It only appears when you're like transitioning between one area to the next. And the pink part kind of just shows you like, hey, this is where you are. And then, the yellow thing is showing the road that you're on or whatever. And it kind
Yep.
of just goes from area 1, 2, 3 to 4. Um, this is a mission select screen. We don't need to do something like this yet because we only have the one mission.
Yep.
But same sort of idea where it's like, this is scene 1, this is scene 2, this is scene 3. So, if we want to do something like that, maybe where we just take like a cool screenshot, then we can just do something like that.
Yep.
And then here's a score screen. So this is a score screen from one of the Jurassic Park games. When you complete one of the scenes or one of the missions, you get to here, and it kind of shows you like here's how many dinosaurs you killed. Here's your accuracy. I guess how many hits in a row, pickups, and then your final total score here.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, this is a little bit more like a stage progression screen, where like inside that level, you start here, and then when you complete an area, then this little Jeep will like drive from here to here, and it's like, okay, you're here now. You're gonna go into this area with the fuel warehouse or whatever. And then you keep coming back to this screen as you progress. So when you get to the next area, I think I've got it in here. Yeah, you get to the next area, then your Jeep moves to the next part, and then you go into the next mission and do stuff. We don't necessarily need to do the like little player ship animated moving around, but just something that will. I guess that's something else. Just something to kind of convey you're moving from one area to the next. Here's the score screen from the Lost World game. Pretty basic, but same sort of idea. It's like player 1, player 2. Here's how many hits you got, technical shots, accuracy, blah blah blah. Here's the way Lost World does their stage screens, where it's kind of the same sort of thing. Stage 1 is you start at the jungle, so that's actually like flashing red on the screen to show you where it is, and then as you progress, then that moves to the next part, and then the King of the Lakeside is where you like fight the big alligator or whatever. And then that just kind of keeps going as you progress through the game. You've got these different maps for each sort of stage progression. Um, that's that. Star Wars, they kind of have this like splash screen when you first come into a mission. That's nice to have. We don't. Well, I will say actually, there is something really nice about having this space to tell some of the story. Because
Uh-huh.
one of the things I'm realizing is it's like completely disjointed trying to have the dialogue in the game tell all the story, because the player is paying attention to like, I'm shooting these asteroids and I'm shooting the drones and all this crazy shit's happening. And I don't want to take away from that to be like, okay, there's just going to be a boring part where there's nothing to shoot because I need to tell you something. I want to try to get as much of that up front before they
Hmm.
go into the mission, so that way they know, like, oh, okay, we're going into an asteroid field. There was a distress signal sent from this area. We're looking for what's going on. That way, that doesn't have to happen in the game. I'd like to do it on a screen like this, and so I think we could do some kind of combination of like, let's see here, something like, well, that's stage selection. Uh, I guess some combination of like, here's where you are, but also here's some information about the mission. So maybe like the top half of the screen has the uh, stage progression, scene 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then the bottom half of the screen is like, okay, current mission status, mission objective. This is what, a lot of text stuff. I don't know. Generally, that's kind of what I'm thinking for those two things. The score screen, I think, is pretty basic. It's just a summary of like, here's how well you did. But the stage progression / mission objective screen is slightly more involved, but also, I mean, not too crazy. I don't know. Is that making sense, Chris?
From what I'm hearing is there's three things: stage selection, screen progression slash information about the mission, and then the score screen.
We can skip the stage selection, so something like this we don't need to do right now. Maybe 12 months from now, when we're ready to release the game, we want to give players the ability to choose, like, oh, I want to jump straight into scene 4 because I like flying around in those tunnels.
Yeah.
Then we would use the stage select for that. But for now, I would say just stage progression, just to show them, here's where you are and here's where you're going next.
So stage progression slash information about the mission.
Exactly. Yep.
And how about the score screen?
Yep. And then the score screen.
Okay, great.
Even something as simple as this, I think, would be fine. But of
And
course, if
and
you want
do you know exactly what you want to say on the score screen? Because right now I'm
to,
looking at references, but do you have like a specific like like I don't know, a hits, technical shot, hit rate, event clear, total points, blah blah blah. Do you know exactly what you want on there? And if
mm,
not, I could put placeholders for now. But if you know what you want to show, like do a little quick mock-up like on the
yeah.
screen, and I can make it sexy.
When I send you back the information about the HUD
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
layers
yeah.
that I need, I'll also
Sweet.
send you a rough draft of what I think should be on the score screen.
Perfect. Can you do one as well for the stage progression? Kind of like a rough draft
Hmm,
of what
sure.
you would like to
Yeah,
see. Yeah, and then
absolutely.
yeah, and then I could do that as well.
Okay. Yep. No
So
problem.
yeah, whatever you sent me for the HUD, remember how you sent the HUD and then you kind of like it
Yeah,
did
yeah,
like
yeah.
an overlay?
Do another one of
That
those.
that was perfect. And I'm like, okay, this is
Okay.
exactly what Michael wants. I'm gonna give it to him.
You got it. Can do.
Yeah, sweet, awesome.
Alrighty. Um. Okay. Any other questions about that, Chris, or comments,
No,
concerns?
I think the stage progression screen is quite important because that kind of more or less shows the progression obviously, and also like you said, gives us a little bit of storytelling element in there.
Yeah,
Yep,
exactly. Which,
yep,
yeah, is going to be essential.
yeah.
Cool.
Uh,
Chat.
Captain Captain Blue says, I approve the use of Jurassic Park inspiration. I would I would like actually a kill streak between missed shots. I haven't seen that before, but perhaps a
Mm.
kind of cool bragging point.
Hmm. Yeah, so quick sidebar about the scoring system. Right now it's at a very rudimentary level, but yeah, one of the things I want to include is kill streaks and also like multi-kills. So like if you kill 3 enemies in quick succession, you get, a triple kill or an overkill or whatever. Um,
Headshot.
yeah, yeah. So yes, that will be included. But yeah, the kill streak one is that would be good to include too. Like if you're so accurate that you're not missing and you're just like
Hmm.
lining up a bunch in a row. Um, yeah. So thanks for the feedback. I'm gonna consider a couple of consider a couple of things for both the scoring system and also what gets displayed on the score screen. So that's very helpful.
Yeah. Thank you, Captain Blue Blue. We're definitely going to credit you in the game somewhere. You've been here for such a long time, and you give us so much good information and feedback.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okey-doke.
Cool. Thank you,
If
Michael.
Sure, yeah, no problem. If that's it, we can resume with trivia night.
Yeah, trivia. I think we lost Cookie. She says she has to go have an on. So thank you, Cookie.
Oh,
If you're watching
thanks,
this
Cookie.
later, thank you for
Thanks
being
for
here.
being here.
Awesome. Virus, I hope you're still here because we're gonna play trivia now. And Captain Blue Blue says, "Go ahead, programmer. Add my name and make my day."
Don't tempt us, because we will do it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh God,
Um,
I have a feeling Rando is gonna kick her ass. I don't know. I just have a feeling. We'll see.
I don't know. Well, Rando and his team of random minions have not been up to the task
It's
the
pretty shit.
last several weeks.
Yep.
But okay, so we got Captain Blue Blue, Chris, and Mestavirus. Are we ready to
Yeah.
rock?
Yeah. Mestavar says, "Yep, I don't know much about trivia." Hey, that puts you and me on in the same boat because I know crap about Clint Eastwood.
And actually, hang on, I'm gonna hide this for a second because I don't think I loaded in the new uh questions.
Ooh, there's a new.
Do, 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 do. Questions. Get rid of that. Lock
But yeah,
this.
Mestavirus, just to let you know, the Creative Tavern, we stream every Wednesdays and Sundays at 7 p.m. PST, and you're always invited to here to, just hang out with us and, just, chat and get your feedback and let us know how we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, feel free to share any creative stuff too if you're working on stuff. And especially like on Sundays we do community art gallery where we go and look at things that people have shared in Discord and talk about it.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Ready to start, folks?
Let's do this.
All right, here we go. Tavern Trivia, Clint Eastwood edition. Question number 1. In what year was Clint Eastwood born? Is it A, 1930, B, 1940, C, 1950, or D, 1960?
I know he's super old. I know he's like up in the 90s. So 70 plus 20, yeah, 90. So it has to be like A then.
All right, Chris thinks it's A.
I think it's A. Virus says 1950.
Okay, Virus, what's it, C?
And then Captain Blue Blue, he's still thinking.
Rando keeps spilling the bowl of peanuts. That's right.
Captain Blue says he's that old? I think he's old, man. I think he's like,
We'll see.
I think he's old. He's Captain Blue says I'm going to hedge the bets and then go B.
All right.
More or less across the
okay.
board.
Yep, here we go.
Here we go.
And the correct answer is hopefully not D.
Oh God, it can't be D.
Yeah! Good job, Chris. Yeah, I
Oh,
was shocked to see this number.
yeah.
He's 92 years old.
He's old. I remember he is
That's
old, like old.
crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's impressive that I saw a new Clint Eastwood movie just like a year or two ago. It's like, man, that guy's still making movies at
Yeah.
90 plus years old.
And a lot of people are like, not criticizing, but that people are saying like it's kind of unrealistic in his movies that he's so old that he's like punching out dudes and carrying heavy things and doing a lot of heavy lifting, right? And he's so
Sure.
old, it's a little bit not in the realistic side, and that's what made me realize, oh yeah, it reminded me of that he's up in the age and around 90, so my math was right. So yeah.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, I thought for sure this was going to be a real shocker because, like, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But more power to him. But oh man, look at this. Team Tavern
Oh.
with 1 point. Team
Oh God.
Rando, one of the Randominions, is hot on Chris's tail.
Yeah.
We're neck
Virus
and
says
neck.
Virus says, "Wow, he's so old." Captain Blue says, "I bet he carries heavy things out of spite by this point." Yeah, right.
Yeah, with a grimace on his face.
Yep.
All right, folks. Next question. Question number 2 out of 3. Clint Eastwood once produced a movie with the same name as a popular internet browser. What was the name of the movie/browser? Was it A, Brave, B,
Brave.
Chrome, C, Firefox, or D, Safari? So Clint Eastwood made a movie, and it has the same name as an internet browser. And I
There's an
thought that was
internet
really
browser
interesting.
named Brave.
Yeah, and it's a really cool internet browser. It's built to like prevent as much as possible things from tracking you, and it's got like a built-in ad blocker. It's not quite as good as like AdGuard, but
Sure.
still like pretty effective. It's supposed to be like a really secure browser. It's pretty cool. I've used it before and liked it, but there are some times where certain websites won't quite work with it. Like I think Netflix sometimes doesn't like
Oh.
to play nice with Brave,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
but it's good. It's good.
Interesting. Interesting. Uh, sorry, I have no freaking idea. Fire Chrome.
Um,
That's weird. Uh, I'm
Mestavirus, are you picking Brave or were you wondering like, wait, is that a browser? And Captain Blue Blue says, would Firefox be a movie he would name? Brave sounds patriotic, so I'm going with that. All right, Captain Blue Blue locking in Brave with A. What are you thinking, Chris? And I
uh,
can tell you're mulling it over really. You're thinking hard about this one.
I think Brave is a trick answer.
Oh yeah.
I think it's Safari
Okay.
because Chrome and Firefox is kind of weirdo.
Chris and
Safari
Safari. Okay.
Safari might be kind of like a, I don't know, like a trek through the jungle or some or Safari, right? I mean, or
Sure.
something. Um,
Yeah, the movie practically writes itself with a title like that.
yeah.
All right, Mestavirus is
Virus
also picking
picking
Brave.
Brave. Oh God. Oh
Yeah,
geez.
let's hope it's not B or C, right?
Oh geez.
All right, folks, here we go. And the answer is
Oh God. Oh my God.
Firefox.
Firefox. What the
Yeah,
frack?
I have no idea what it's about, but
What the hell is?
1982, Clint Eastwood has a movie called Firefox. I saw that and was like,
Uh,
that's funny. I'm gonna put that in trivia.
yeah. That is weird.
Uh-oh,
That is
folks.
no.
Team Tavern at 1 point. Team Rando might be inching in on their first victory since
Yeah.
becoming uh, a team.
Oh
They're like
goodness.
0-3. Um, all right, gotta step it up, guys. Here's the final question. This one you gotta get right, and you gotta beat Team Rando.
Yeah.
Uh,
Shit.
and it's gonna be tough too, because I mean they have 5 opportunities to get a point
Whoa,
here,
whoa, whoa.
and
Five
he's
people? They
only
have
yeah I know.
five? Wait,
Yeah,
that's
this is
not
a
fair.
it's not fair. It's a 3
Oh
round
shit.
5 match.
Oh damn. All right.
So you gotta step up your, really reach back into your brain to remember your Clint Eastwood knowledge.
All
All
right.
right, here
All
we
right.
go. Final
Come on,
question.
guys. Come on, guys.
How many times has Clint Eastwood won an Academy Award for Best Actor?
Ah, fuck. I don't
A,
know this.
0 times. B, 1 time. C, 2 times. Or D, 3 times.
Uh, I'm gonna say three times, cause if he's 90 years old, I mean, out of 30
That's
years,
plenty of time to win a
he
bunch of awards, huh?
yeah. So one award per 30 years, maybe. So therefore, I'm gonna go with three.
Wow, yeah, holy crap. Every 30
Uh,
years.
every 30 year he gets an award.
Mestavirus
Uh,
is picking 2.
all right, all right.
All right, so we're going with C.
We're waiting for Captain Blue Blue.
Yep.
Let us know.
And we put not enough as the answer, says Mestavirus. Like, yeah, that's a good note. I mean, Clint Eastwood's an amazing actor, so yeah. However much
Yeah.
he's won, it's not enough. I
I'm.
can't. Or sorry, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I was gonna say, read Captain Blue. He says, I'm thinking he has one more than his directing career that rather than acting. He might have won one, so he's picking
Captain
one.
Blue's gone once. All
Pick
right.
one.
We're
Oh God,
uh.
I have a feeling I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Are you guys good to go? Can I lock
Oh,
in these answers?
yeah. We're at least going to get 1 point. I know we're gonna get at least 1 point.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna click that button now. And the correct answer is 0.
What? Are you fucking kidding me?
He's never
No
won the
way.
Academy Award for Best Actor. He's won
What?
for Best Director and Best Picture multiple times, and he's been nominated for Best Actor, but he never won. Isn't that
What?
crazy?
That is crazy. And Virus says if it's 0, we riot. And we riot.
It's
0? Are
time
you
to riot
serious?
and burn the
Holy
tavern down.
Oh my gosh. That is
Yeah, isn't that
insane.
nuts? Yeah,
0
that's what I thought
times?
too. I was like, what? Yeah, he's won I think 4 Academy Awards, but Best Director twice and Best Picture twice.
Oh.
And never Best Actor, which is shocking because he is a really good actor.
Yeah. Wow. So 90 years on this planet and no Best Actor Academy Award, huh? Frack me,
Yep.
man.
Yeah.
Damn.
What an injustice.
That is an injustice. Captain Blue says, so my thinking was kind of right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah,
Yep. You were on the right track
absolutely.
there.
Yeah. Wow,
And
what a punch in the gut.
I
Jeez.
know. And Team Rando completely whiffed that one too, but it didn't matter. They had enough points.
Oh no. Oh
Team Rando
no.
wins. And
Mwahaha,
team
random chance wins again. Better luck next week, Creative Tavern. Ha 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 ha. Damn it.
Womp, womp, womp. That was a tough one. Chris coming through with the only point on the board, preventing a complete shutout
Shut
for
out.
the
Yeah.
Creative Tavern this week. But
Yeah. 1 point, guys. Oh God, that's
yeah,
so
that was a tough one.
that was so bad. Oh my gosh.
But still,
Rando.
you guys did good. I liked your thinking and your reasoning, and I appreciate you playing. So hopefully you had
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Thank you so much for playing, guys. Var says he should have had one for El Camino. I didn't see
Mm.
that. Was that good? Was it a good movie?
It's been
Have
a
you seen it,
while, man.
Michael?
It's been a long time since I've seen
Oh.
a Clint Eastwood movie. But well, actually, with the exception of the Cry Macho movie, which is the most recent one, which I stopped watching because I didn't think it was that good. But
Uh-huh.
every other Clint Eastwood movie I've seen has just been like breathtakingly good. Yeah, it's pretty hard to miss with Mr. Eastwood. But
Yeah.
I trust Mr. Virus's accounting, and I'm sure
Yep.
he should have won an award for that, but didn't.
Yeah, man. All the
And that's Tavern
movies.
Trivia.
Yeah, thank you so much, Michael, for setting that up. Again, you guys, thank you for being here. We totally appreciate, just you guys hanging out with us and just watching us, uh, not suffer, but trying to figure out what's wrong with the game and try to make it better. And and we totally appreciate you guys being here. Um, Boo says Rando sniffs bar stool seats. Uh,
Ew.
Ew. He also says, I like Space Cowboy. Oh, that's
Hmm.
right. Space Cowboy with what's his face? With 007. Daniel Craig, right? Isn't that the
Whoa,
Space
he's in
Cowboy?
that?
I don't know.
The one I'm thinking of is the one with like, I think it's Clint Eastwood and Tommy Lee Jones and a couple other of those like older actors, and they become like astronauts or something. But
Uh,
I don't know.
yeah, I
Um,
don't know that.
yeah.
And Var says it's Gran Torino, not El
Mm,
Terran. My bad. Yeah, no worries. And Kevin Blue says, yeah, Michael is right. Yep, you're right.
there you go. Bingo.
Yep. All right,
Good
guys,
stuff.
we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, and this is the part where I plug Michael and I plug myself. That sounds so dirty. So this is
The family-friendly
this is
show, Chris.
yes, we are a family friendly show. Um, but for those of you guys watching, please follow Michael on his various social media platforms as well as my social media platform. And you can find me, again, my name is Chris. I stream on my own channel, twitch.tv/Lee Design Studio. I like to draw female anime pinup girls and, just essentially character art. And I'm getting into a little bit more adult friendly art nowadays, and I'm having a great time. And so if you're interested in wanting to see that, you can't because I can't stream that on Twitch because I'll get in trouble. But with that said, I do have my own channel, and feel free to follow me there as well. And yeah, hopefully to see you guys there. And Michael, where can they find you, good sir?
Chris shared that link, so if you click that, it'll take you to my link tree where I've got my various social media stuff. And you can follow me there, though, to be honest, I'm not very active right now. I am planning to be more active later in the year. Obviously, right now, like all hands on deck working on this game, trying to spend any moment that any amount of free time that I have working on that. But I do plan on doing my own either YouTube or Twitch video content a little bit later. Still not 100% sure what that might be. Probably going to be at least uh, a a book club for a period of time because I do want to go through at least a couple of like the Michael Crichton books,
Nice.
and then maybe some coding stuff too because I'm considering doing an entire series that's dedicated to helping people do CS50 because that was like a really cool thing for me. So if you're interested in learning how to program, stay tuned. I might be able to help you with that. In the meantime, I do have a book available on Amazon called Blockbuster Blueprint. It's all about how best-selling stories work. I took some time to kind of like analyze those and figure out how they work because I like writing and storytelling and uh, I took all my notes and put it into this book. That way I can share it with other people. So you can check that out if you like. Otherwise, the best place to hang out with me is right here on the Creative Tavern, where I'll be working on this game with Chris every Wednesday and Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So
Yes,
if you'd like
and
to join us, we would love to have you.
exactly. And we will be here next this upcoming Sunday. And make sure if you're an artist, if you like to draw, sing, dance, whatever, feel free to join our Discord. Actually, I didn't put the thing in there. Social. Uh, if you follow that link, the Creative Tavern, we have our Discord in there as well. So if you have anything you want to share to the world and us and with each other, feel free to join our Discord and then post your stuff, and then we will take a look at it on Sunday. And I definitely have homework. Michael, what's my homework? My homework is basically getting
Prefab
all
for Scene
the
5, which is not
s-
very
y-
urgent, but
yeah.
sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh no, no, I was gonna ask you like off the top of your head. Like for me, do the HUD, send you the HUD, do essentially just do all the graphic stuff, all the graphics, and also the stage progression, that screen as well. So I'll have that ready to show by Sunday, and hopefully I can figure out the shield thing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Well, what you have for the shield is looking pretty good. Yeah. Send me the screenshot. Because as soon as you give me that, I'll make some notes and send
yeah,
that back to you, and then I'll
yeah,
also make the little presentation for the stage progression and score screen for you.
yeah.
And I'll try to get that to you by tomorrow, by the end of the day tomorrow,
Okay, okay,
midday tomorrow.
sure.
I'll do it first thing tomorrow, but lately I sleep until like 3 or 4 p.m. So if you get that to me after the show,
Hmm.
I might be able to get that to you tonight.
Yeah, yeah. I'll get it to you as soon as possible, and whenever you can give it back to me, then that's fine too. But yeah, Michael and I belong in the NOS club. It's a night owl society where we stay up really really late, up to like I don't know 6 a.m. The latest is like 6 a.m. for me. Michael doesn't sleep until like I don't know uh
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Yeah, he's in the Osaka time zone. I think
Mm,
maybe
yeah.
maybe yeah
Should get
yeah
a
yeah yeah.
remote work job in Japan.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh God. I miss Japan. But anyways, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Virus, again, thank you so much for following, for joining the part of the family. Captain Blue Blue, thank you so much for being here. As always, supporting. I know it's super late over there, so I really, really super appreciate you. Coley Butt, kill a cookie. And you guys, hopefully you guys are having a good rest wherever you guys are doing right now. So yeah, okay, sweet. Thank you guys. We're gonna call it. See you Sunday. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna raid, okay? We're gonna raid. See ya. Thank you guys. All right, we're gonna raid someone. We don't know who yet because I didn't prep for it yet. So give me 1 second,
No
guys.
problem.
Thank you so much, Captain Blue Blue.
Yeah.
All right, so Commander Biscuit is streaming art. So let's raid him because he actually raided me last week and it was nice.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really, really nice
Return
of
the
him
favor.
to. Yeah. And there you go. And I'm gonna go chat. All right, Virus. Thank you so much for following us. We will see. I hope to see you Sunday. Might pop
Yeah.
into Discord. Awesome. Yeah, we'll get to know you even better. And yeah, that's so cool. All right. Good night, Captain Blue Blue. See you guys. Can't wait to
Bye.
show you my space bridge on Sunday. Sweet.
Ooh.
All right. And
Yeah, looking forward to
rated.
seeing it.
Yeah.